This is our lesson 5 of Life in the UK test, a study guide 2006 edition. And as you know that this is the essential study guide for ILR and British citizenship. In this course, as I said in my previous lessons as well, that this is the course where I will teach you the whole of the book, okay? And from this book, you will learn how to understand the material, the resource, and then also how to answer the questions. Okay, so we will be trying to focus on those bits which are most important, and we'll try to understand them so that we can do the tests very nicely. So we are going to start chapter number 4, which is the longest chapter. But before that, let me tell you things about this book. So this is the study guide, which is the official version of Life in the UK study guide test book. Okay, so you can get this book from the library, you can buy this book. So something about this book, there are 7 chapters in this book, and chapter 1 and chapter 7 and chapter 8 are not tested. Okay, so this is more like chapter 1 is information, 7 and 8 have got some practice tests and some other information. Okay, so it is chapter number 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 which are tested. So which means that basically you have to prepare these 5 chapters to pass your Life in the UK test. Okay, so please, if you haven't watched my previous lessons, go back and see and try to cover things from those chapter videos as well. Also, if you have the book, then obviously it would be a very good idea to keep the book open at the same page that I am teaching from, and then in this way you can underline things, you can highlight things, and then you can study later, or you can go back to the video. If you don't have the book, that's fine. In video I will tell you the page number, I will highlight things for you, and I will explain things. All right, so as I said, this is the longest chapter in this book, and probably most important as well, and at the same time difficult as well. So please make sure that you pay attention. A long and illustrious history, which means that we will be looking at British history from a very long time, and see what happened, what kind of different stages Britain went through. Okay, so let's begin, and I would use the highlighter where I need to highlight things. So early Britain, the first people to live in Britain were hunter-gatherers in what we call the Stone Age. This is a very important line. Okay, so I would underline this or highlight this. This means that, I mean, obviously who came to Britain first, we never know, but this is the recorded history which starts with the people who were hunter-gatherers. Means these are the people who used to hunt for their survival, and this is the time which we call Stone Age. Okay, for much of the Stone Age, Britain was connected to the continent by land bridge. So during this time, Britain and continent means Europe, they were connected, both were connected with land. Okay, and now you can see that Britain is an island and it is not connected with the continent, and if you have to go to Europe, you have to go via ship or plane. Okay, so there is sea around UK. So this is very important sentence, and that can be one of the questions, that who were the first people who came to Britain, or question could be hunter-gatherers came to Britain in what age. Then you will have options: Stone Age, Iron Age, Bronze Age, whatever. So you have to choose Stone Age. Right, so this one is Britain only became permanently separated from the continent by the Channel by about 10,000 years ago. So then 10,000 years ago, Britain got separated from the continent. Okay, the first farmers arrived in Great Britain in 6,000 years ago. That's a very important question. So you would be asked, who came 6,000 years ago, or when did the first farmers came to Britain? So see that There is one sentence, but questions could be asked in different way. But if you understand the sentence, if you understand the material here, you can answer every question. The ancestors of these first farmers probably came from Southeast Europe. These people built houses, tombs, and monuments on the land. And one of these monuments is Stonehenge. Okay, so let me underline that. Still stands in what is now the English county of Wiltshire. So this is very, very important. Okay. So question could be, where did the ancestors come from? Question could be, where is Stonehenge? Question could be, sometimes it is about the country, sometimes it is about Wiltshire, sometimes they would say that what monument still stands in Wiltshire in English England, and then you would say Stonehenge. Okay, so Stonehenge was probably, don't worry about that. Then the next thing is, other Stone Age sites have also survived. Saqqara Brae on Orkney off the north coast of Scotland is the best preserved prehistoric village in Northern Europe. That's a very important sentence. So like Stonehenge, there is another monument in Scotland, which is Saqqara Brae on Orkney. Orkney is the name of a place off the north coast of Scotland. So you could be asked where Saqqara Brae is. You could be asked which country Saqqara Brae is. You can be asked what is on Orkney in Scotland. Okay, so get ready for every type of question. So from one statement, one sentence. So I wouldn't keep repeating this, but you could see that I highlight the key places in the book, the key quotations or the sentences. Okay, you just focus on them and try to be ready for any type of questions from them. I mean, if you know this material that I have highlighted, okay, then I think you can answer any question. And this is what we are basically aiming at. Around 4,000 years ago, people learned to make bronze. Okay, so now we are moving forward. We call this Bronze Age. So Stone Age, when people used to make things of stone. Bronze Age, when people used to make things out of bronze. Okay, people lived in round houses and buried their dead in tombs called round barrows. Okay, please make sure you underline this one. This is very important. Okay, the question is, what is the name of round houses? So round barrows. Okay, what type of houses people used to live? Then you could say round houses. Or what type of houses, what's the name of the house, round houses that the people of Bronze Age used to live in? So then round barrows. The people of Bronze Age were accomplished metal workers who made many beautiful objects in bronze and gold, including tools, ornaments, and weapons. Okay, so that's why it is called Bronze Age. The Bronze Age was followed by Iron Age. So after Bronze Age comes the Iron Age, which means that people are developing, people are progressing, becoming more and more advanced. Okay, so what happens in Iron Age then? Let's see. When people learned how to make weapons and tools out of iron, people still lived in round houses, grouped together into larger settlements, and these defended these sites called hill forts. So I would just bracket this thing. Right, a very impressive hill fort can still be seen at Maiden Castle in the English county of Dorset. Okay, so now in Stone Age, what happened was that people still lived in round houses, but they came together. Okay, they lived together. So in this way, they formed villages, they formed small cities, towns. Okay, and they defended their settlements with hill forts. So hill forts mean that they would make houses at the top of a hill, and around that hill they would dig burrows and put some water in that. So in this way, nobody could invade or attack them. So one of such settlement is in the English county of Dorset, which is called Maiden Castle. So most people were farmers, craft workers, or warriors. Okay, the language they spoke was part of the Celtic language family. So this could be another question: which language people of Iron Age spoke. So that is Celtic language. If you are asked the question, where is Maiden Castle, then obviously you will say English county of Dorset or in Dorset. Okay. The people of Iron Age had a sophisticated culture and economy. So they made the first coins to be minted in Britain. Some inscribed the names of Iron Age kings. Okay. So these people were more sophisticated, more advanced than the Bronze Age people, and they minted coins, means they started dealing their day-to-day things in coins. So kind of invented money. Yeah. So then what happens next was they used the pictures of their kings and queens on those coins, and from those coins we understand who was the king in what age and all that stuff. So this is the start of the history, recorded history. Excuse me. So you could be asked who minted first coins in Britain. Okay, so people of Iron Age. Okay, and sometimes you are asked the question, what was imprinted or inscribed on these Iron Age coins? So you would say Iron Age kings, the names of Iron Age kings. Okay, so the next and the most important topic for this lesson is the Romans. Julius Caesar led a Roman invasion of Britain in 55 BC. So that means that Julius Caesar came and tried to attack and capture England or the UK. This was unsuccessful, and nearly 100 years Britain remained separate from the Roman Empire. So there could be many questions: who first attacked, which Roman emperor attacked England? Julius Caesar. Sometime you will be asked in what BC they attacked. So 55, 65. Okay, you will be given options obviously. And how many years England or Britain remained separate from the Roman Empire? So that is 100 years. Okay. In AD 43, Emperor Claudius led the Roman army in the new invasion. So then AD 43, that's the date, Emperor Claudius attacked again. This time there was resistance from some British tribes, but the Romans were successful. Now that was a successful attempt, so which means that they occupied Britain. One of the tribal leaders fought against the Romans was Boudica. Okay, the Queen of Iceni is what is now Eastern England. She is still remembered today, and there is a statue of her on the Westminster Bridge, London, near the Houses of Parliament. Okay, that's a very, very important thing. Okay, you have to remember that. So Romans came, but they were resisted by people here. So one of the queens, whose name is Boudica, so she fought against the Romans very bravely, but obviously she lost, and Romans were successful. But the question is, which queen fought against Romans? So Boudica is the name of that person. Okay, her statue still stands next to the Westminster Bridge in London. Okay, so you can have a question about that as well. Areas of what is now Scotland were never conquered by Romans. That's very, very important sentence. And the Emperor Hadrian built a wall in the north of England to keep out Picts, ancestors of Scottish people. So these people were very brave people, and they could not be conquered. So what happened was, Emperor Hadrian, who was the Roman emperor, he was scared of Scottish people, and the ancestors of Scottish people are known as Picts. So what he did was, he built a wall between Scotland and England so that Scottish people could not come across and could not attack them. Yeah. So he tried to basically defend himself and his empire, because he was worried that they would come down and they would attack, and they would means take away his government and his kingdom and everything. So included in the wall were a number of forts. Parts of Hadrian's wall included the forts of Housteads and Winterlanda that can still be seen, and it's a popular UNESCO and Scientific Cultural Organization World Heritage Site. So now in that wall there were different forts where they used to have security guards or army, okay, to protect the wall and to see that nobody tries to go on the other side of the wall. Okay, so this is something very important. You have to remember who built Hadrian Wall, Emperor Hadrian. Okay, so, and the wall was between which two countries, Scotland and England, and what are the two forts which can still be seen in Hadrian walls, and then the names of Housesteads and Vindolanda, and these are World Heritage Sites. Okay, so these are some of the important bits here in this lesson, in this page, on this page. The Romans remain in Britain for 400 years. This is something which is always in one of the questions. So how many years Romans remained in Britain? 400 years. Okay, or you could say, they could ask you, for 400 years, which army, which nation ruled over England? And then you would say the Romans. They built roads, public buildings, and created a structure of law. Okay, so this is something which is very important, and you will be asked questions. Choose three options. They built. So what did the Romans do in England? So in Britain, they built roads, public buildings, created the structure of law, and introduced new plants and animals. So you might be given 4 options, and out of those there could be 3 correct options. Okay, obviously 4 cannot be correct because they want you to find out which 3 options, or sometimes you would be given 4 options and you will be asked to find 2 correct answers. It was during the 3rd and the 4th century AD that the first Christian communities began to appear in Britain. And this last sentence is probably the most important sentence in this whole paragraph. So in the 3rd and the 4th centuries, first Christian communities began to appear in Britain. So sometimes this statement is given and ask you whether this is true or false. Sometimes the centuries are 2nd and 3rd, sometimes 4th and 5th. So you have to see that it should be 3rd and 4th centuries. To make this statement correct. Okay, so the ones that I've highlighted here, so what you could do is please highlight everything and then go back over them and try to understand, try to think about these, and try to watch my video again and again and again so that you understand what does that mean, what type of questions can come. Yeah, we'll start our next lesson from the Anglo-Saxons. I'm not going to cover many pages in these lessons because in this beginning of this chapter is very difficult, and this is very condensed, compact material. It's very deep. You have to explain a lot. Sometimes there are things written in one sentence, but they need a full explanation. Okay, so that's why I try to keep only a few pages so that we can make things easy. Okay, so our next lesson would be about Anglo-Saxons. Now, your homework is to stop the video here, take a picture of this, or maybe just read the question and write the answers in your book. Okay, and then go back and check the book if you have highlighted things, or check my video and try to see whether you have answered the questions correct or not. So in this way you would test yourself. Okay, and that's very important to understand. So that's the end of today's lesson. Thanks for watching, and I wish you all the best. See you in the next lesson. Bye.